Hello, hello. I'm a little bit nervous because I'm filming a video out in public and I've not filmed a video for about 2 years, so just bear with me on this if it's a little rusty. I'm coming to you from the amazing Lake District National Park here in the UK, and if you can look over there, that big thing there, that's my house. It's not, don't worry about it. So it's a beautiful place here. It's one of my favourite places in the whole of the UK, and I just wanted to share it with you because I think it's so peaceful and it's so tranquil, and it's kind of what I wanted to talk about in this video today. So, I don't know whether you've ever seen that episode of SpongeBob, and just bear with me here. It's an episode of SpongeBob where SpongeBob and Patrick are trapped in the wilderness, and Squidward's there with them, and Squidward's all ego. He's like, oh, well, we need to do something, we need to fix ourselves, we need to get out of this place because we're going to die, we're going to starve. But SpongeBob and Patrick, they have a little toy. It's called the conch shell, and it's kind of like a magic 8-ball where basically they pull a string and it randomizes answers. And every time they pull a string on what we should do, they say, do nothing. This thing tells them to do nothing. And so for the whole episode, they do nothing. And Squidward gets more and more worked up, and every time he tries to escape and he tries to get out, he just ends up right back where he is, except more tired, more hungry. And SpongeBob and Patrick just sit and they do nothing. And the whole idea of the episode is that even though they sit and they do nothing, they eventually just get rescued anyway. So the whole effort that Squidward was putting in and trying to force himself to get out, to work, to succeed, to survive, it was all ego, and it was not very helpful to him anyway. And he just ends up looking like an idiot, which he always ends up doing. Poor Squidward, I feel bad for him. Today, in this sort of modern society that we live in, where we always have a phone on us and we're always checking social media, and YouTube has an algorithm designed specifically to keep us watching, more and more videos every single time, just to get more money out of us. I don't blame them for it. It's a great strategy. I've sunk so many hours into YouTube. It's unreal. I love those monkey videos, man. A lot of us have these really fast careers that, especially during the pandemic, I don't know whether you were working from home, the amount of emails you get was just insane. There was no way you could go through all of them and stay completely sane. This world just keeps moving faster and faster, and it's encouraging you to sort of do things all the time. But because we have all this media coming at us, and even when we watch the news and when we watch lots of TV and we binge watch series, there's lots of things vying for our attention, right? And because we're not sitting and we're not doing nothing, we never really get to feel our true selves. The moral of that SpongeBob story, which I found actually really entertaining even as a kid, was that when you sit and you do nothing, a lot of the time you'll find that your problems are already solved. Or maybe you didn't even have a problem to begin with. Just like Squidward, when let's say you're trying really hard to succeed in a career or succeed in a certain endeavour, or maybe even get a girlfriend or a boyfriend, it's almost like you're dealing with a little kitten. When you're dealing with a little kitten where you're trying really hard to grab onto it and hug it and keep it there, the more the cat just wants to go. It doesn't want anything to do with you. But the more you just sort of sit and you're okay with yourself and you do nothing, then the cat always comes towards you. It always wants to spend time with you. Why? Because you're not needing the cat. You don't feel like you have to go over there and achieve the cat and go out and do things. And a lot of the times it's our brains and our egos that think we have to do something all the time. Particularly when it comes to a certain issue. Let's say you're always worried about money, or you're always worried about being in a relationship, or you're always worried about what the next step in your life might be. There's a part of your brain that always wants to say, okay, well, this is a problem I need to fix. This is an enemy I need to destroy. But really, that's not the case. A lot of time, if you just sit and you let this thought be there, or you let the concern you have be there, or you simply just be okay with saying, okay, look, I'm not where I am in my career, but I'm just going to sit and I'm going to let it be here, and I'm going to let all the emotions be here. And the longer you do that, the more you sort of start to realize that actually this thought is not you. It's sort of a passing thing. Imagine like you're the sky, right? And it's a cloudy day and it's full of clouds. If you start to think you're a cloud, like a thought, because a cloud is temporary, it goes from point A to point B and it changes shape. If you start to identify with this thought that, oh, well, I can't get a girlfriend, or, oh, I can't get a career, or, oh, I can't get that much money, the cloud is you're going to think you're the cloud, and the cloud's going to stay there. But if you realize, actually, if you sit and you can let these thoughts arise and they start to pass like the clouds through you, okay, you'll start to realize you're actually the sky. You're not the goldfish in the bowl, you're the bowl with the water. You have everything inside you, and you can let these things come up And the more you're okay with it, and the more you're okay with that being there, and the more you're okay with stillness and doing nothing, the more that you'll start to realize that SpongeBob and Patrick, maybe they had a point. Maybe the more you push and the more you force something to leave you, or the more you force something to go out and grab, you see something as a conquest to go and get, rather than something you enjoy and something that it's okay if it's here, it's okay if it's not here, then maybe the further away you'll get. It turns out that when you're in your head, right? So a lot of the times when we have a negative thought, or we feel like we should be somewhere that we're not, we should be making more money, we should be with that other person, we should be more famous, right? That's not something that's come from you. It's not come from your body. It's come from your head. It's an idea that you've got. A lot of the times we have these negative thoughts and we forget we thought them. Like if you're afraid of getting robbed, right? Where did you get the idea from getting robbed? You got it from your brain, right? And you've forgotten that you had the idea, and now you're scared of the idea, and now you think it's true. So basically, if you let yourself and you portion out a specific time in your day, so for me, it's the morning, right, where you just sit, you switch off your phone, you don't get bombarded with these other things distracting you from what your body is trying to let you feel and let be here and let come up so it can leave, right? If you just turn off your phone, turn off the news, you don't look at any books, you put your phone on airplane mode, you do all that, and you sit there and you let the feelings come up in you and just let them be there. And you might have these, for the first 2 weeks, you might have these terrible thoughts like, I'm worthless, this is pointless, this is not doing anything. But trust me, if you sit there and you let it be, because this is not something you can measure with your mind, right? Because our mind is often the thing that gets us into these problems. I need to be working hard enough, I need more money, I'm jealous of him, my brother's doing better than me, whatever it is, right? That's something your mind has created. It might be true, it might not be true, right? But you won't know unless you sit there, and you don't have to actively do anything. Here's the thing. A lot of people, when they sit and they let their thoughts just run around with them, they feel like, okay, well, I have to find the issue, the core root of this issue that it's caused. I have to find the specific moment in my childhood and I have to find out what it means. You don't have to do any of that. Trust me, you just have to sit back and watch the show. You just have to sit back and just let it wash over you. And if it's negative or what you think is negative, just say to yourself, that's okay. That's okay. And I love that, right? Because the sooner you stop seeing things as a problem, the sooner you stop seeing things as enemies to overcome, as soon as you stop seeing things as things you need to achieve, like Squidward, and start being a little bit more like SpongeBob and say, okay, well, whatever happens, it's going to be okay. I can sit here, I can take it. You'll often find that your life and whatever you wanted to achieve would move way quicker because you're getting out of the way. So what I would invite you to do is to listen to your body a little bit more. Accept that the thoughts in your head might say, no, I need to work, I need to keep doing, I can't take any time off. It comes up with strange reasons why you shouldn't listen to what your body's telling you to do. Because I think a lot of the time your body knows a little bit better than what your brain does. But I would encourage you, if you are the kind of guy that works all the time, right, or the kind of girl that works all the time and you feel like you have to keep doing, and maybe you live in a big city, maybe you need to move to the country, I don't know, you've got to listen to what your body does, right? Or maybe if you're a country person and you're very shy, or you don't like being in the limelight, maybe your body wants you to grow by being in the limelight. I don't know, right? But you won't know unless you portion out a specific time in your day to know yourself, to sit and to do nothing and to be happy with what comes up, okay? Even if it temporarily makes you feel bad. So a lot of the time, sometimes I'll be sitting there and I'll be letting nothing happen, and there'll be a horrible heavy feeling and it'll be in my stomach, or it'll feel like fear, or it'll feel like anger. Sometimes that won't go away. And obviously my ego, my brain is working hard to say, this shouldn't be here, I should fix this. No, don't do that, because the more you do that, the more you're concentrating on the clouds and not remembering that you're the sky. And you might have to walk around with this feeling maybe the whole day. Maybe it'll only be for an hour, maybe it'll only be for 3 hours. You don't know. But the longer you do it and the longer you let yourself be here, and be kind to yourself when this is happening, because it can be quite difficult, especially at first. Like Kyle Cease says, when you have a hose in the back garden that you haven't used for years, and you first turn it on, this horrible brown murky water comes out. What you'll often get is, for the first 2 weeks, it will just be horrible, horrendous. You won't want to do it anymore. Trust me, if you care for yourself enough and treat yourself with kindness and you let it be here and you'll stick it out, you will often find that a lot of the stuff that comes afterwards are great lessons that your body and your spirit has always been telling you that you should have and learn, right? And emotions that are trapped in your body that maybe you've repressed ever since your childhood. I don't know. Are stuck there. They want to come out, but because we're concentrating on them and because we see them as problems that we need to fix and because we need to invent jobs that we need to do using our brains, they stay. So what I would invite you to do is take a little bit of time out of your day to just sit and do nothing, right? Maybe it's for 20 minutes, maybe it's for 10 minutes, maybe it's for a full hour. I now do a full hour in the morning, and whatever comes up, and I just sit back and I watch the show, and it basically sets me up for the whole day. I feel less stress in the day. I've let go of a lot of issues, and I'm more successful, and I actually find out who I really am. I realize that I'm not, the anger I have towards this person. I'm not the fear that I have towards whatever, I'm actually the person that is witnessing this. I'm watching it. And this is not something you can actively force. This was something that will naturally happen over time. Because a lot of people think their mind is working against them. I don't know about you, but we've all seen that meme where like a woman is trying to go to sleep and then their brain says, oh, remember that embarrassing thing you did when you were 15? And then it's like, great, I'm going to wake up. This kind of work will help you realize that these thoughts, they're not enemies. Okay? Yeah, they might make you feel like you've got an embarrassing thing, you need to feel bad for. That's just an emotion that you've repressed and not felt. Okay? The only reason it keeps showing up and keeps recurring is because you've just got to sit there. You've got to ride it out, right? But as soon as you ride it out, I promise you it will not be as long. It might only be 20 minutes, but I promise you the time period you will sit and feel uncomfortable will not be as long as the years you've held on to this emotion for. Trust me. So that's what I would encourage you to do. Take time out of your day to just sit and do nothing. That's basically what I wanted to say to you this morning. I hope this helps. If it doesn't help, I'm really very sorry. Comment down below. Let me know if this works for you. Let me know how you feel about this. I aim to do some more videos, preferably with some more amazing backgrounds, although maybe not. But no, thank you very much for tuning in. Sorry I look a little bit like Tintin today. My hair's very spiky. It is what it is. I'll talk to you later. See you soon.